I guess we'll see once this ambient occlusion bake finishes up. But from the looks of things, it looks like at some point it does actually have the shadow, which is good. Um, but yeah, that's been something that's been plaguing me for the past week or so. I haven't been able to figure out why our window frames sometimes just don't cast shadows. Um, so we'll see. But if we zoom all the way out, yeah, having all these torches in the hallway and the throne room and whatnot has really helped. I think with the darkness problem, where everything was just sort of not really dark where you can't see it, but dark to the point where things kind of felt desaturated, and that's not really a good lighting style. So having all these torches in here will hopefully help balance that darkness out a bit and make things a little bit more interesting. Um, Trying to think. Um, I don't really have. Oh no, my stream. Or it seems fine, I guess. It's kind of nerve wracking keeping the stream open in one tab because whenever it freaks out, I always assume that it's my fault, but it could be Twitch's. Or maybe not. Who knows? Because on my end, I'm not getting any dropped frames, but when I look at it in my browser, it's not going, which is very worrying. But yeah, no dropped frames or anything like that. So maybe it's just got something to do with my light map baking. Maybe it'll snap back. Um, and congratulations on finishing your game. I assume that is a good experience. I would not know very well. Actually, I mean, I guess I have finished a few games, but in regards to Text Quest, I would not know. Um, all right, so we got a couple of last minute bakes to do. And it looks like everything's actually going to be pretty nice. I always like doing this. The shadows only show up a certain distance away, so if you pan your camera, you can see it in the corner, top right corner. All right, so on the agenda for today is I guess we're just going to go ahead and open up Substance Designer while we wait for um, our light map to finish baking. We are going to quickly remake. Oh, look at that lag. We're going to quickly remake this table texture because it was originally done in Photoshop and I never actually went back and updated it. So we're going to update this table material in Substance so it has a better substance than what it does right now. And then we will come back and take a look at our light map bake in Unity. Make sure that looks nice. Walk around a bit. Go ahead and make a new substance here. We'll call it marble table. Hit OK. All right, nothing too crazy here. We'll go ahead and get things ready to go. I can't get too crazy with it yet because the light map bake is actually going to be pretty resource intensive. Aha! Looks like it's importing finally. The stream is offline. But it's not. It's still streaming. Let me try refreshing my page. See if that shows up. Can you hear me though? I guess is a important thing to say. Okay, it looks like it's there. Let me just check. So it looks like everything's still online on my end, at least. OBS still says I'm streaming, and I'm getting a signal on the actual dev stream. But who knows? That could also just be completely bonkers. Okay, it's back now. Good. So as I was saying, I'm going to be redoing this texture, making it a new substance. Oh, Okay, it keeps like blinking out on my browser, and I'm getting nervous about it. And our light map bake just finished, so we can actually walk around right now. We'll go ahead and do that first. Show you guys what I was doing. Hit save. All right, now let's play. And I have also added screen space ambient, or screen space ambient, not ambient occlusion, screen space anti-aliasing. Or no, it's super sample anti-aliasing. Anyway, to make things look a lot nicer, I gotta fix this light map because I think it's messed up. Because we're getting a little bit of shadow bleeding there. Ooh, man. Are you sure I'm getting 190 frames per second Unity? Because it feels choppy. Let me check. Well, anyway, so this is the... man, it feels really choppy. This is terrible. Maybe that's the screen space ambient occlusion. It's... feels really sort of... ugh. Feels like it's jerky. Like I'm getting dropped frames. Which I could be, I suppose. But let's open this up. So this is what the castle throne room looks like currently, with 6 new torches added in. It actually looks pretty nice, I think. I think the lights from the torches help a lot. It makes the room feel a lot less sort of dark and depressing. It actually feels a lot better. Let's see. So looking outside seems fine. Clouds and whatnot look fine. You know what? I might go ahead and stop playing real quick. I'm going to turn off my screen space anti-aliasing, or super sample anti-aliasing. I don't know what I want to call it, screen space. Just because it feels like it's slowing things down. And it could be that it's because of OBS being open at the same time that I'm having problems. But we'll see. So we can just keep that in the scene, actually. Then we'll come back to, I believe we want resources, UI camera, turn this off, and I think only those two have a screen space thing on there. Okay. Yeah, it feels a little bit smoother. It still feels jerky, though. It's really weird. Not sure what's going on there. It does feel a little bit smoother, though. Oh, and I've also for the moment I have turned off head bob and idle sort of bobbing motion for the character, just because I got a little sick of it. And I've been meaning to add an option for that in the actual options menu for a while now, and I just haven't gotten around to it. But I feel like it's not imperative that it be on for the time being. Most people seem to want to turn it off anyway. I don't know if that's a light map problem or it's coming from somewhere else. Alright. And we'll just go ahead and get the wizard cutscene out of the way. Oh yeah, actually I wanted to do that. So I've also updated my magic substance to have animation. So it's actually got a scrolling animation effect going. I will show you once I can turn my head fully. I also need to add sound. Sound's going to be a big thing for the next 2 weeks too. Alright. So I have added, I've updated my substance for this. Oh yeah, I probably need to select it to actually get it to look right. So I'm going to pause real quick. And we will go to, get this. Now if I play it'll look proper. So I have a base magic word with 2 different magic sort of side horizontal textures that scroll. This is just being done with substance animation. It actually looks pretty nice. Scrolling wise, it's not jerky like our lava was way back in the Magma River level. So that's another thing I've done. I think that turned out pretty well. It has emissive light or emissive lighting on it. but it's not really that useful, I guess. Doesn't seem to be having much of an effect on anything, which is weird. Maybe it's because it's being done on static objects, so it probably doesn't want to do anything. But so that's another thing that has happened. We can open this up. Oh, getting some Z fighting there. Doesn't look like it's doing. Oh no, it's there. Probably have to move that out a little bit more. Not crazy about that. Kind of looks like we're getting awkward light bouncing there. Lighting in here looks pretty nice. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, it looks like our frame is gone again. I wonder if that's the... I'm guessing that has something to do with the ambient occlusion. Probably should turn that off after the stream tonight and test that, because that's kind of weird. Oh, hello. Also getting some light spillage through here. Okay. Let's see. And yeah, I'll take a look at your game after I do this initial walkthrough. Again, we're getting that height bug. I need to talk to someone on the algorithmic forums about that, because that's really weird. Let's see. All this stuff seems to be working. I'd open inventory. You can still do this. I'm going to go ahead and open, then pull. Oh, I need to turn the lever into a non-static object as well. Scroll through here. I have added corners, so mortar corners, to all of the corners in the castle, which took forever and was probably not worth it, but devil's in the details, as I always say. Speaking of, it looks like my right side here, UV is slightly too high. Go figure. So we're getting all this stuff. Ah, man. That's not light spillage. That's, that doesn't even make sense, actually. So, you can see a thin blue line along the edge. I'd say that that's where there's a break in the mesh and you can see through it, but well, no, actually that might be correct here. So we got some problems here. I probably can fix that by, quick and dirty, I can fix that by just making another simple mesh around this to block that, so it doesn't look like there's anything there, but it's not really a great solution. But it might be the one that I have to end up doing. Well, anyway. The other thing that I've done is I have added, I'm not going to walk too much further because I'll trigger the transition to the sewer, but I have added an actual end wall at the bottom of the staircase before it just faded into black. But that was a little sort of misleading in comparison to what the good level design I've been trying to do in the past is. Weird. I wonder why there's 3 steps that aren't lit. Because having it just fade into black is wrong when you find out later on that if you go into the dark without a light, you die. So instead, I just added an extra room down there that looks like it curves around the staircase, and that makes things a little bit more consistent with the level design. So that's where we are so far. It looks like the secret passage is kind of nasty, lighting map wise, or light map wise, just because it looks like there's some cracks in my UVs or something to let the light through where it shouldn't. Everything else though looks pretty solid. It still feels like I'm getting a lot of stuttering, but I can't tell if that's the game's fault or if that's because I'm streaming to Twitch while I'm playing this game. And I know that streaming in general is really intensive, and it probably doesn't help that I have one GPU doing all of this. So that's probably a bit of the cause of the stuttering. But so that's what the level looks like currently. Everything, you can do a rough run through. Not everything's interactable yet, because I need to update everything with the new format for the JSON stuff. Like I bet if I enter, yeah, it just says interactive object. Oh, interesting. That was my headset going out. Sorry. For some reason, the hearing for my headset just like conked out. Um, all right, so looks like some of the stuff is in there. Well, anyway, we're gonna have to update that anyway. Yeah, you can see the cursor feels choppy too. You can see it sort of. Well, maybe you guys can't on the stream because I'm probably only streaming at like 30 frames per second. But for some reason, everything feels kind of choppy. Um, hmm. It also looks like my stream froze, which is never a good thing. But all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop playing. I'm gonna pull up OBS, make sure I'm not dropping any frames. Looks like it's fine. Pull up Twitch, and it is frozen, but we'll see how that ends up going. Okay, so we'll go ahead and keep that stuff turned off for now. Hit save. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to making this texture real quick, because it shouldn't take us very long. So for that, we're going to open up Illustrator. I'm going to go ahead and hit Command New, or Control New, I guess, because I'm on PC. I'm going to call it Marble Table. 1024 by 1024 is fine. Hit OK. I'm going to come up here, go to my textures. My computer seems to be lagging somewhat. Okay, there we go. Weird. Let's see, I don't think I've made this yet, so if I go to Marble... Oh, I do have a Marble Table. Let's see. Oh, good, I made it a path, because of course I did. Well, that's not the end of the world. If that's the case, then I can go ahead and close this. And that means that I can open... Let's see, Castle Throne Room, here we go. Did I just call it Castle Table, probably? I'm going to refresh my Twitch stream page, because it looks like it froze on my browser page. But that, I really hope, is not what it looks like to you guys. No, it seems like it's actually correct this time. Weird. So I don't know if it's me or if it's Twitch, but something's not right with the stream. Anyway, so here is the current... let's see. See, it looks like I have... Right. Oof, man. You know what? I am... Ugh. I think I'm just going to go ahead and remake this texture real quick. It won't take very long for me to do. But yeah, this was done really early on. This was clearly done really early on. All right. So let's go back here. Let's go to File, Open Recent Files, Marble Table. Okay. And let's go ahead and say base old. We'll make a new one, call this one base. Then we'll do subobject, call it text. Subobject, call it BG for background. Move this up, select our background, hit M, turn off our stroke, and make our background black. Alright, now I can just stretch this out, 1024 by 1024. That works, lock it, and crap. I hate it when it does that. Move that into BG, lock it, make that invisible. Alright. So now, I'm going to go ahead and go to my text, Commodore 64 pixelized. We'll go to 72, make sure that I'm set to no anti-aliasing. Let's just start typing. Marble. Looks like I get about 2 in there. I'm going to select that, hit I, change the color. Alright, so it looks like I can go a little bit larger. Let's try 120. That is looking pretty close. It's probably going to be negative 100. Nope, probably negative 75 then. Boom! Got it. Alright, so there's the marble part. Then we're going to need a table. Table. Again, I don't know why, but it always defaults to black. Makes it really, really hard to tell where it is on the background. Let's see. Let's go bottom. Select that. And oh, I don't need to do that. I have my eyedrop tool. Oh yes, and fun sneak preview fact, maybe, possibly. I have, as of right now, I have pre-ordered the HTC Vive, which is the VR headset that Valve helped develop. And the reason I got that over Oculus is because it's $200 more than Oculus, but for that $200 you get better hardware and 2 controllers. So what I am thinking of doing is possibly having a VR mode for Text Quest. Now, originally, I was actually really hesitant to do that because I couldn't figure out a good way to have VR and allow people to still, conveniently look at the keyboard if they need to see what they're typing, since not everyone can type expertly. I know that sometimes I have to look at the keyboard whenever I just forget where a key is for some reason. So, to prevent that problem from arising, I am considering doing a sort of spoken translation version of TextQuest where if you're in VR, you can actually say what you want to happen, and your headset would pick that up and turn it into text that then gets put into the input menu. Now, that's not a guarantee that that is going to be like in the final game, but that is something that I am looking at, and it would be, I think, interesting to experiment with, if nothing else. Okay, so it looks like everything else is correct. All the fonts are hardened, which is nice. And the best part about this is now, so the original one was done before I knew how to save out without destroying my text. So now I don't have to have just like paths for my exports. So texture-wise, this is actually going to be pretty fine. I don't actually need a normal map for Marble stuff because Marble has a flat surface, even though it looks design-wise like it actually dips in. Actual Marble does not dip inwards or outwards based on its cracks. It's sort of an illusion, so it's actually perfectly flat normally and perfectly smooth. So we're going to save that. We're going to save it out as an SVG Marble table. Yes, I know. Hit OK. All right, so now we can come back here to our Marble table. I'm going to go ahead and right-click, say Link, Vector Graphics. It'll take us to our planes. Go to Intro, Castle, Illustrator, and we want Marble table.svg. Go ahead and close the old one. So close this. Drag this in here. So, boom, all of that. It's pretty nice. And that's actually not going to be the end result, so we're going to pull that back a little bit because there's going to be a lot of color wizardry going on here. Let's see. We're going to have a uniform color for our roughness map. Make it grayscale. Plug it in. Copy that. Move it over here. Same for our metallic. It's going to be a solid uniform color. I'm going to go ahead and change this from relative to parent to absolute. Pull it down to 16 by 16. That way we don't have extra pixels being created that don't really need it. I'm going to just call this marble table. I called it table, not table. We'll hit save. I'm going to rename this because I apparently can't spell, which is great because, you know, I'm making a text-based game. So, semantic saturation, that's what it's called, incidentally, for something where it looks wrong after looking at it for a while. Make this 200 by default, so it's not perfectly smooth, not perfectly rough, and we'll be breaking that up with a little bit of substance effects. But for now, we're just going to leave it like that. So the next big thing is going to be our actual marble effect. Now, before, I would have probably just used one of these grunge map bitmaps, because there's one actually in here. I think it's this one right here. That seems like it would be a really good idea because it looks like nice marble. But the problem with that is that this is actually a bitmap. This would include this bitmap into the final substance file, which means that my substance file would probably balloon up from 7 kilobytes to, I think when I included this in my, let's actually check. So let's go to throne room. Oh my god, Windows Explorer is taking forever. Yeah, you can see right there, I got a lag. Anyway, so let's go to environment, underground, magma river. Let's see. So right here, magma marble, you can see it's 10 megabytes. And that's because, if we open that file up, give it a second, it actually uses a lot of those bitmaps. In fact, right here, I think is the one that I just pulled in. So there's some problems with using these. They're really, really nice grunge maps, but you sort of sacrifice the small file size that Substance really brings to the table for convenience. So I'm going to try to make it without that, see if I can get a nice effect going. And if I can't, fine. I will try to, I'll just use this bitmap. Because it's not the end of the world to have some large substance files. I just want to try and keep that to a minimum. So let's go ahead and close this. Say close. Switch back here. All right, at the end of the day, we're going to have a blend node here. Go ahead and pull this. Grab that. Pull that in there. All right, we'll keep this off to the side for now. See if I can get something going with it. So, how are we going to end up doing something like this? This is going to be really, really fun. Let's see, Grunge Map 13. I think that is also a bitmap. So most of these high-level grunge maps are all bitmaps. That makes it so I can't really include them. So instead, let's pull in moisture noise. Let's see what else. Possibly Perlin noise 1. Probably use that. So these two guys. And I think I'm going to want scratches as well. So let me pull in scratches generator. Okay, so these three effects, I think I might be able to generate something interesting. This is going to be fun. This is going to be like actual substance stuff. We don't get to do that every day. Oh, and for the actual normal map, I'm going to go ahead and just do a fractal sum base. I'm just going to go ahead and plug that into my normal map. So we just break up some of the roughness. Ooh, that doesn't look like it came in very well. Weird. Looks like I'm getting some... Oh, I wonder if that's because these guys are set to be the wrong size. Well, that would kind of suck. Well, we'll see. For now, I guess I'll just go ahead and delete that connection. So it looks a little bit better. Okay. So let's see. We have our noises here. Let's go ahead and move them out a little bit. So Perlin noise is going to be our base. So let's just go ahead and do I believe we're going to want a blend node. Let's pull this guy out, pull this in. And let's try the different modes, see what we can get. Multiply, add sub, lighten. Ooh, definitely not that. Min darken, we might be able to get something interesting with that. Oh, right, these things aren't going to give me anything really useful. I'm going to try with this. I'm going to see what I can get out of that. And before we do that, we're going to go ahead and add a levels node. And, oh, sorry, haven't been paying attention to the chat. Yeah, no, yeah, I'll take a look at the game and tell you what I think about it. I will probably, I tend to be brutally honest whenever I do these things. Or I believe the phrase that I like the most is I'm candid. Let's go ahead and, okay, so we want to go the other way. Nope, not quite that. We're going to actually lower our overall image. So let's see what this does. So basically what I'm trying to do is get rid of sort of this blur. I don't actually want that. Thank you for stopping by, 18 Markwick. I will hopefully see you on the next stream that we do. So let's see. We want to get rid of this stuff. That might be a little too much. So if we darken this up a little bit. Yeah, you can see that we're getting some solid colored areas, which means that it's going to be this really weird flat color, and we don't actually want that. So maybe the Perlin noise isn't the best. Let's see if Perlin noise 2. Nah, Perlin noise is just going to have to be the thing. Let's see. We could try doing this. Add a transform 2D. Let's see. Let's go ahead and divide that by 2. Pull this in. Okay. Merge that up. Let's see. Let's lower our lighting a little bit. Nah, that's just getting it too soft. Oh. That's actually, I think that's just getting like really close to the original. So that's not a good thing to do. But maybe we can invert this, see what happens. That's probably just going to be the same, actually. Right, because oh yeah, min darken's just going to do that, isn't it? Let's see, let's try add sub. Oh, there we go, we got some interesting thing there. Let's see, let's move this guy down a little bit. Yeah, so we're getting too dark, I think. Here we go, too light, so if I were to lower this. I think moisture is just not a good look. It feels a little too splotchy for marble. And let me go ahead and open up a... if I can get freaking Windows 10 to work with me. Alright. Let's do marble table. Go images. Just so you can sort of see what I'm trying to do. We want this sort of nice crack appearance. And I think that moisture is just too splotchy. There's not enough sort of white space here. So if we go back here, so that's not good. But maybe the Perlin noise actually can be adjusted for that. That would be a train, by the way. Let me go ahead and... Why aren't you working with me here? Ah, here we are. So let's sort of invert this. Pull this up. No. We want to keep some areas dark. We're going to really drag this out. Make this a little bit more contrasting. It's a little too much. Although actually, let me try doing this. So you can see that we're starting to get pure white here. And pure white is going to come across as a perfectly flat color instead of a gradient, which is fine. we're trying to get enough of it that we'll be able to come in with scratches and try to sort of create false cracks. So we can get rid of this. We're not going to have that. Get rid of this node. Let's see. So this is what it would look like. I think I want to try and crisp that up a little bit. I believe that there's a sharpen. Let's see what this looks like. See if I can. Nah, that's not. Yeah, that's not what I want. Do I have a contrast? There we go. Let's see what this does. See if I can raise that. Oop, that's pretty good. So let's tweak this a little bit more. Yeah. So basically what I'm trying to do, not quite there, but about there. So 0.95, I think. I basically want to make it where the contrast is hard enough that we're going to get some gradation here. So if we look at our marble here, you have mostly white surface, which is what our... Oops, wrong thing. Oh no, I made the error of hovering over the wrong thing. This is going to take forever. Alright. So we want to have some small gradation there, but not a huge amount. So, you know what? Perlin noise itself might not be enough. Plasma is probably not good enough. Maybe I should make scratches with sort of a dithering effect on them so that they don't look like perfect scratches. That might be a better way to come in. So I'm going to go ahead and save this node down here, my contrast node. But I don't think my Perlin noise is going to end up doing me any favors. Let's see, what does this have? It has a mask. Okay, I don't really need the mask. Let's see. Alrighty then. Move this over here. Let's add a levels to this, just because it gives us a little bit more control. We'll zoom out a little bit. I'm also going to do absolute value for now, so I can have 1024 by 1024 resolution, just to make sure that everything looks decent. Because working at 2056 by 2056 is really, really hard for a texture, since it's so small. Alright, so let's see my parameters here. Let's lower our scratch amount. Let's lower it to like 50. So it's there, but it's not insane. And then, let's see, scratch's scale is 0.2 by default. 0.2 is actually probably pretty good. Let's see, mask threshold, that's a different thing because I'm not using a mask. That's fine. So this is our scratch, or these are our scratches. They're not quite finished. So let's go ahead and open this up. Let's try to create... Okay, so intensify this just a little bit so these scratches up here are a little bit more bold. And then, let's see. Let's try a blur, actually. Let's grab this. Let's lower our intensity. So that's at 0. Let's go to 1. Oof. A little hard to tell. And you know what? While we're doing this, to make sure that I can... Because really, all this sort of stuff right down here in our texture is not as important as what the final result is. So I'm going to go ahead and do a blend node here. And we're basically going to use this to make a uniform color. Let's pick that. Let me pick this again. Let's get this color. So our scratches are here. We're just going to add this. And let's see. I believe I'm going to want to just say add linear dodge for now. So you can see that this is a little too soft. They're too thin and they're too gradual. It contrasts too much with the text because the text is a lot more hard-edged. So we're going to want something a little bit more interesting. Again, I'm going to go ahead and change this to absolute 16 by 16. We'll change this to relative to parent to keep all that so we don't end up messing things up. There's our current sort of thing. So if I were to lower my blur, ooh, went down to, oh, right, it just calculated. Oh, really? So it actually looks a little bit better with 1. But it doesn't look, the problem is it doesn't look like, it doesn't look like cracks, like marble cracks. Oh my god, I don't know what is up with my computer tonight, but it is slow. So as you can vaguely see through this tiny preview window while we wait for Chrome to open up, are you kidding me? Seriously? I don't know what it is. Here, let me go ahead and close Maya. I doubt that'll help, but I guess the only thing I can think is that OBS is somehow eating up more power than it used to, but it's hard to say, honestly. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and save this scene, close it. Hopefully that'll free up some resources. So you can see that these have sort of this weird crack pattern to them. So I need to find a way to thicken these guys up while somehow making them join a little bit better. I wonder if I have a marble. Darn, I was hoping for it. Do I have cracks? Got cracks weathering, but no. Oh, yeah, we don't need that. There has to be a good way to do this. I wonder if I can do something with paper path. Somehow turn this into a crack pattern, basically. It's not a bad idea. So let's go ahead and shorten this to 50. And lengthen this to 150. Yeah. But it doesn't look like I can limit how many are actually there, which kind of sucks. So that makes it a little worthless. Yeah, can't really do anything with that. Let's see, messy fibers. That's not going to be too helpful, I don't think. We can try something with plasma. Just see if we can get some interesting contrast crack thing going on. So let me go ahead and grab my contrast. We'll go ahead and do levels. We'll plug that into contrast. Let's go ahead and try to make this way more. Ooh, actually that looks a lot better than I was expecting. Let's lower this to make the whites blow out more. So if we're really lucky, we might be able to get this to. Oh, I really like that. Let's sharpen that up just a little bit. Okay. So we're onto something here, I think. If we up our contrast a lot to like 95 or even 1, let's try to keep it at like 90, so 0.9. We get a little bit more. So I really like this effect. I don't know if we need the contrast, actually. We might not need that anymore. We'll still keep that off to the side for now. But this gives us a really, really nice thin line. But maybe, just maybe. No, but can't do it that way. That's right. Let's try blowing this up a little bit more. There we go. I'm going to make these lines a little thicker. And then, do I have any? Okay, so distance of 4 is the default. Let's try. Okay, so I can't really go up. I I want to go down. So 4 is the default. Let's go to... darn it. Little cow face. Let's see. It's not a bad effect. This is actually interesting for other stuff that I could do. But it's not necessarily what we want for marble tables. Because the further up I go, less useful it becomes. So by the time we get up to here, it's just not really that useful. So if we go back to 4, four looks pretty good. I really like that. But my problem is that I'm going to do like a transform 2D to tile it a little bit more if I divide this. It's not terrible. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay, well that didn't quite go the way I was expecting it to. Huh. Also, I think I can just do it this way. Like this. Ooh, hello. Why are you... Okay, relative to parent then. Ah, I know why. That actually does not make as much sense as you would think. Oh, right, because we want to go to copy. So that doesn't really work. So I need to harden these edges just a little bit, just enough to make them, I don't know, to make them feel like they're sort of rough. But the trick is I can't do it with the normal map. So my actual normal, I'm just going to go ahead and do this real quick, normal color. Pull this. I love that I said that this was going to be quick and then I just immediately turned it into something ridiculous. Story of my life, I suppose. So I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to merge this color with sort of a noise effect inside our color. Because we want our surface to be completely smooth. Which, trying to think. Would it make sense? So actual marble, I would click on my Chrome page, but it'll take forever to show up. You can see it's got these cracks, and the cracks are noticeable. In fact, if we can get closer to one like this, you can see the cracks have almost a texture to them. But the problem is that the actual surface of marble doesn't break up. It's a perfectly smooth surface. So I can't just use a normal map because the normal map will affect lighting and make it not look perfectly smooth. But then again, actually maybe I can get away with it because the roughness value in our rough map might cover it up. Just enough, anyway. So let's try that. I mean, it's worth a shot. All right. So let's go ahead and get rid of this. And we're going to go ahead and... Yeah, this is going to be fun. Right. I probably should just have a mask for this. So if I drag this in, convert it to a grayscale, and let's see. Problem is that it's not perfectly white. So actually what I should do is this. Let's change our text color to white. That is all I'm going to do. And we're going to save that out. Oh, I did that on the SVG. Well, that works too. So now if I come back in here, it's going to be white. So we can actually do this. Change this to a grayscale image. Do a blend node. Pull this in. Pull in a uniform color. Pick this color. Do that. And then we will do another uniform color. Have this be black. That'll be our background. So now we can we'll be able to adjust these colors in real time, which will be nice. So we can tweak these colors when we actually bring it into Unity now, instead of having it be predefined. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this, change this to absolute 16 by 16. Go ahead and drag this down to here. Go ahead and make this 16 by 16. Change this to relative to parent instead of relative to input. And now that's where we are. So let's go ahead and move this down here, move this up here. And we'll keep that right there. Go ahead and get rid of this. I'm assuming this is my grunge map. Yep, don't need that anymore. Don't need these scratches anymore. We're not going to be using that approach. Don't need this contrast anymore, and we don't need a fractal sum base for our rough map or our normal map. So, with all that, what I'm going to do is, let's see, grunge map. Nope, we want dirt. We want dirt 6. I'm thinking, grab this, add a levels node. Come over here. We're going to go ahead and make this a little. Well, actually, we're going to make it darker, but we are going to make the contrast a little bit more noticeable. So we're going to get this. Actually, we might end up doing this effect. Make things a little bit more. Okay. As I mutter into my microphone so that you guys can't hear me. Then we're going to go ahead and do a blend node. Pull this. Put this in right here. And then this is going to go right here. Oop, wrong side. Right here. Now, if we plug in a normal map, make it OpenGL, pull this in. There we go. It's a little. I think the gradient is actually a little too much. So I might want to sharpen this up then. So if that's the case, I do want the contrast back. Pull this in down here. And I believe we want to contrast it like 0.75 is actually pretty good. So there we go. Now it's not as ridiculous. But we're not done yet, actually. Move this up here. So there's our new contrast. And here's our ultimate normal. But our words need to have the same normal applied to them. So that means that we're going to be coming down to here. We're going to do another blend node. Pull this in down here. Pull this in here. And we are going to do a normal combine. So normal combine. So combine both of our normal maps, which this has not had a normal created yet. So normal. Okay, make sure that they're both OpenGL. Pull this one in. Pull this one in. Hit OK. And now when we can merge these together. Oh, interesting. It looks like we're getting. These should be matching up. But I bet, actually, what we don't want, I bet we don't want normal combine. I bet we want normal blend. So normal blend. Normal blend is like normal combine, but it doesn't actually overlay two different normals. Well, it does, but it uses a mask, basically. That's the big difference. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this in. Hit OK. And now, I believe our normals will look, yeah, now they look like they're part of the same part. And before they were getting sort of like a additive effect to make them stand out a little bit more where they crossed. We actually didn't want that. Let's see. And we might. No, we do need this blend node here. Or do we? Let me check. I'm gonna go ahead and test this out. Put this here. Yeah, same thing. Okay, that's what I thought. So I don't need that second blend node there. I can just have a normal for my actual dirt here, and that's going to combine with this to make this. So it still looks a little too smooth. Probably not a good way to make those curves jagged, because it doesn't quite look like sort of cracks in marble yet. We're on the right track, and we have a nice rough map, I think, or a nice normal effect going on. I really like that it seamlessly blends between text and sort of crack, but it doesn't quite work. Not yet, anyway. So, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and move these guys down. So they're a little easier to look at. Colors are pretty much done, I think. Let's see, you guys are relatives to parent, and so are you. Good. So I don't think I need to do anything extra with color for the time being, because all of my changes will propagate up to there anyway. I think it's about hardening these edges, and that'll solve both the normal and the color map problems. Okay, let's see what I can get. Crystal. Oh, maybe I should use crystal instead of plasma. Let's see what happens when I do that. Oh! Not terrible. Kinda. Seriously, there's not an option. Why do you do this to me? Okay, I'm curious. Let me go to, I think, open reference. Yeah, okay. So I can see what they're doing, which is nice. Yes, I know it's not editable. Dang it. I was hoping that they tiled something, but it doesn't look like they did. So I drag this down so we can see in the... So this is what the crystal node is doing. It's using procedural stuff, starting with an FX map, which is just great. I hate FX maps. I think we can say edit FX map to look at it and see what they're doing. So there's our output. Here's our input. I think I just realized that I have been doing FX nodes backwards. I always thought that you started, that these four were your outputs, but I don't think that's the case. I think they're your... No, they are. It says your output. Output 0, 1. What the hell? This must be your input then. Weird. Why would they? Anyway. Okay. So I'm guessing... Really, it's not telling me... Huh. I would have thought that it used a specific image, but it doesn't look like it does. It might just as well actually not tell me because this is uneditable. It could be missing some information for some reason. So, great. So that's kind of a bust. But I might be able to get around that by doing this. Transform. I don't know if that will work or not. It does not. You can see you can tell the seams are there. Crap! Ah! Seriously. Let's pull this in. Ah, dang it. I was so hoping that that would work. And in a way, it sort of does. Darn it. It's just too chaotic. They don't give you an option to get rid of it. Okay. Well, then we'll go back here, because this is a little bit more manageable. And once we have that, maybe I can... Oh, cells. I didn't think... No, cells aren't really going to work. Maybe I can basically sort of harden them up by trying to blend with something, maybe. Let's try blend. Let's go ahead and do that and that. Let's go to copy, subtract, add linear dodge, no. Multiply, no. Add sub, no. Max and min aren't going to do anything good. There's really no... dang it, I thought there would be a way to, like, sort of sharpen things up. Except sharpen doesn't actually do what we want. Okay. Let me think. So I'm basically trying to... It might not be possible, honestly. Because basically what I'm trying to do is affect the math that makes those curves, but that doesn't work. I can't just adjust that. Okay. So this is annoying. This is quite annoying. Can I up this? Nope, that's terrible. Yeah, I can't really do that. The problem is if I go to, depending on the scale, I'll start getting these loops, and that looks really wrong with marble. This is rather frustrating. See, I don't think I really have any other noises that could be good for this. No Gaussian spots. I don't want to just bite the bullet and use a grunge map. There has to be a way for me to do this. Let's see. I think we're really, really close. Is what's so infuriating. It's just got some problems. Oh, I don't think that there's a way to manually draw in here, is there? That would be cool. I can save images as bitmaps though, then export them, then bring them back in. That could be interesting. So I'd basically export a bitmap, edit it, then bring it back in to use it and have it be more of the shape that I want. It's not perfect, but it basically would let me edit out these sort of these extra loops and circles to make it a little bit more hard-edged. That might work pretty well, actually. So let me open this up. Let's try making our distance about... No, can't do that. Let's go to 4. Okay. No, this doesn't seem to be... It's frustrating because we're close. I think there's just one or two small things that would solve our problem. In our noise zoom. Let's try moving this out. Let's do blend node. Pull this in, pull this in. Let's do add, subtract. No, no, no. Okay. I divide, it's not going to give me anything. I didn't think about that. Let me try that. Right. Let's do add. So basically I'm going to use both the mask and the sort of different blending mode to see what I can do. So multiply, add sub. Divide, overlay. Which none of those might even matter if trying to blend properly. Urgh! I'm gonna get this. I refuse to give up. Okay. Let's see. So maybe I'm taking the wrong approach. Let's see. See what I got for curve. There's curvature. Splatter, circular. Let's see what other adjustments I have. Quantisize. I don't know what quantisize will do. But let's see. Apparently nothing. Oh, hello. Oh, that's curious. So it's less noticeable here because everything's already so contrasty. Okay, so invert does not really do anything. Histogram, I can't imagine this being any helpful, but it makes an interesting effect. So black versus white. Huh. No, I don't think that's actually doing what I want. I think this is basically highlighting the gradient portion, which could be useful if I wanted to get rid of it. But it's not just the gradient that I want to get rid of. I actually want to get rid of the entire sort of curvature. And I don't know if I'll be able to do that very easily. Let's see. Convert to sRGB grayscale. High pass. No, I don't really need that. Histogram range. Again, not really something I can do. Contrast luminosity, we're doing that already. Maybe I should try. No, it's not going to do anything. Auto levels, no. Channel mixer, no. Let's see, blending, color mode difference, dissolve. Dissolve. No, that's not going to do what I want. Darn it. I really not got a dissolve grayscale? That's kind of annoying. Blurs, no, don't really need blurs. Channels, no, that's not really going to be too helpful. Any effects, bevel, curvature, smooth, emboss, mosaic, grayscale, shadows. Mosaic. Let's see. Oh, right, the stupid mosaic. It needs a map. Of course it does. I think we want to do cells. Oh! Not great, but it's on the right path. Let's see, crystal. Oh, dang it. We got harder edges, which is partially right, but we're getting these nasty effects. Okay, let me do this real quick. Levels. Pull this in. I'm going to double click on this. Change this. Zoom out a little bit. Let's just lower our light levels. Okay, so that's getting us gradual curves. Let's pull this up. If I pull this up further, nope, don't want to do that. I want to contrast, I think. Contrast in the towards the black. Lower this. Lower this. Oh, we're close. It's just I don't like the glitched effect. It's too random. It's too broken up. It's not what we want. Raise this up a little bit. I could lower this some more. Heighten this. Make this contrast. It makes me so sad. It's like almost what we want. Almost. The cracks, and I really like that. It's a darn it. Okay, hold on. See, I've got a mosaic myself. And of course, I made it only take a color. Because why wouldn't I? Let's try Crystal 2, maybe. Maybe that can somehow give us a different effect. Not great. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Let's try changing this. So samples starts at 8. Let's lower it to. Let's raise it to 10. The intensity. Raising that to 1 is pretty close. But I think it's just too. Let's see. Let's get rid of these guys. Quantize isn't doing anything. Histogram shift isn't doing anything. Let's pull this guy in. Let's do a levels after him. Levels. Pull this in, and I might be able to just sort of get rid of those. So let's shift this. Ah, dang it. They're solid black. So I can't get rid of them. Arrgh! Okay. Let's see if there's anything else that could be used. Microscope, moisture. Mosaic's pretty good. Let's see if I can find something else. Uber emboss, that's okay. Vector warp. Nope, that's probably not too helpful. Nothing with normal, I would assume. Yeah. Tiling isn't going to be useful, neither is transform. Darn it. And now I think I've spent like 45 minutes on this. This one table that's supposed to be super easy, because I want to get this perfect marble thing. On the bright side, once I have this marble sort of workflow down, I can just turn it into a graph and use it later, which would be very helpful. Okay, it's not quite. Let's see. Right, so it's giving us cracks. It seems the problem is this stuff. These cracks. I don't like that. If I up the sample rate, will that make them go away? It seems to, actually. So if that's the case, let's try lowering these guys again. It's not perfect, though. It's hardly perfect. Let's see. Let's drag this. Ah! No, it's not really giving us anything too useful here. Let's try adjustments. No, that's not gonna... Oh. I didn't think about that. Okay. Give me a second here. Let's lower this to 8. And let's raise this, try to make it a little bit more pronounced. Drag this up a little bit. Okay, I gotta harden it just a little bit. Now things look too curvy now. Darn it. I messed things up too much. Now I'll be able to get it back to what it was. So, crud. Let's see. Of course, that's not going to do anything. So, I pull down my colors, but that's not really going to change anything. Yeah. That's just making things... Ooh. Oh! Really? Okay. That worked out a lot better than I thought it would. So... Huh. Basically gonna... let's raise it enough. Let's go to 85. Then we're gonna go a distance of 60, or do I want to go lower? No, I'm gonna go higher. Right about here. We're getting close. Now, the reason I'm not worried about this is because I'm just gonna do this. Blend. Grab this. This will be our foreground. And this will be our background. So now we have a little bit more. No, that's not. Ah, darn it. Hold on. I'm partially right. Partially. Not fully. Yeah, dang it. Because that just trims in the circular pattern. Arrgh! It does give us a good effect, though. That actually is a really nice effect. Okay. So, I also love how today was supposed to be about level design, and that turned into this. This is what happens. Let's see. Well, I like this, but it's not what we want. Go figure. The problem is I have to cut stuff out here, and I can't do that. But maybe if I do a levels again. then let's lower our... No. Let's heighten our black. Crap. Parts of it are still... Make our contrast a little bit. Oh, darn it. Come on, work with me, work with me. Ah, there's some black parts in there, and those aren't going to go away. So I think I would have to basically... To get it to do what I want, I think I would have to actually export a bitmap, then edit it in Photoshop, then bring it back in. I don't want to do that, though. That's... So this is close. The problem is that it keeps our curves. Like, that cleans up all the dirt outside, but it keeps our friggin' curves. Which defeats the purpose of it. Oi. Right. And meanwhile... It's Grunge Map 9. Oh, no. Okay. Let's just go to noises. Grunge Map 009. Bitmap. So, and this is going to be infuriating, but this is what it's going to do. Pull this in right here. Pull this in here. And just look at that. Look at how ridiculous that is. One node, super simple. Now let's go ahead and put in a levels node to help balance things out. Let's lower our intensity a little bit. Let's make it a little bit more true black in some areas. Basically want to do this. That's infuriating. It's so easy and it looks nice. Alright. Well, that's what we'll do. Go figure. So like all of these nodes were me trying to emulate that effect. I just couldn't do it. Could not do it. Couldn't figure it out. That makes me so angry. Well, in any case, doesn't really feel like these normals got too crazy here. Yeah. I might make this a little bit more intense just to help bump it up a little bit. Maybe make it 1.5. Actually what I want. I probably want that to be 1. Because I actually don't want it to do too much. It shouldn't be noticeable. It's just there to break up the light. Okay. Well. Let's just drag that in. Put that up there. Alright. Then what we're going to do next is pretty simple. You're just going to do this. Grab this. Pull this out here. Pull this out to here. Up, move this guy up, move these guys up to here. Alrighty then, pull this out all the way here, and probably pull this up to here, these guys down to here, and these guys over here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and frame this stuff up. color. Green, 130, 50. Frame these guys up. Just call this normal. Frame this up. Add frame. Call it masks. Make it red. I'm not going to worry about marking them up. Alright, then we'll do our usual expose. Make this rough. Okay. Expose. Metallic. Okay. We will expose these two guys. So expose. Color. Expose. Accent color. Okay. And that's all I really need. So we'll save that. Let's close this guy. Go to marble table. Fill in our stuff. Marble table. Forgot to be in marble. Kind of important. Author is me. Alright, fill all this stuff in. Call this rough, make it a slider. Clamp it. Set it at 0.75 by default. Metallic. Make it a slider. Clamp it. Base color. It's fine as is. And then base, or not base color. Accent. Color. It's fine as is. Hit OK. Alright. Now we'll change this back from absolute to relative to parent. Hit OK. And let's see. Okay, all that stuff should be fine. So let's test this, see what it looks like. Alright. So there it is. Not crazy. A little sad because now our marble effect doesn't blend seamlessly with our text as well as it used to, or even really at all anymore. That's how it works. All right, so that all seems to work. Let's go ahead and save that. Go to environment, castle, throne room, marble table, hit save. Yes, that's fine. Hit OK. All right, now let's pull this stuff in. You know what, I bet. Let's go back here. Show and explore. Right here. Let's go to environment, castle, throne room. Pull this over here. And we want marble table. Put this in. Place file and destination. You can see it right there, and it's going to update. Boom! That is a lot more clear. It's a lot crisper, which is nice. And since I put everything in the same spot, I don't have to redo anything, which is also nice. Feels like my marble is a little nasty looking, actually. Maybe it's because it's compressed. Apply and see what it looks like. No, that does not look like it actually changed anything. So if I change it back. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll have to look into that. I might end up changing it, trying some other stuff, because it just looks really pixelated and gross. Let's see what it looks like in game. I do like it. It's better than what it was before. Cheat and just grab my player character and drag him over here. All right. Yeah, that is not acceptable. I'm guessing it's because I scaled up the UV for that. That's problematic. Okay, because you'll notice it doesn't look nearly as bad on the sides, although the sides do look a little pixelated still. Oh, well, isn't that fun? I can look up through the table. Probably should fix that. I can't stand up, fortunately. Although I can sprint. Oh! Ah! Ah! Isn't that fun? Well, that's something I need to fix. That is a bug. Actually, it's not a bug, it's an oversight. So, fun. Okay. Well, we got a table texture out of the stream. It's almost been 2 hours, so I think it's probably a good place to quit for tonight, especially since I have to do a lot of light map baking, and I can't really do that on the stream, since I'm going to be tweaking all these variables. But overall, that's where we are currently, art-wise. It's just sort of coming back, polishing everything up, and trying to get everything nice and ready for GDC. So that's what the focus is going to be on the next 2 weeks. Oh, man, I even meant to get to the bookshelf today. I didn't even touch it. Hey, a lot of stuff that needs to be done. Well, in any case, that'll be it for the stream tonight. Thursday, we will come back. We'll do programming. We'll probably end up trying to get everything updated. I don't know if I'll be able to update all of the interaction stuff before Thursday. I'm going to do my best. But if I can get that stuff working, we'll basically just be refining the combat in the sewer, getting some hidden puzzles in this first room set up, and doing some just basic puzzle design. I think it'll be nice to get back into that. It's been a while since we've done it. So that's what we'll do Thursday. As always, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time.